Hey, Luke, I know you've had some time to digest everything, and we always ask you how your team is doing as far as spirits and everything. But I think, how are you doing? How are you managing this situation? How the first two games have gone with your club?
Yeah, we talked, James, from day one, even before we got out here. We've been saying this is gonna be hard, and we want it to be hard. That's how you grow. And um, we didn't want to drop our first two games, but hey, we did, and a handful of other teams have too. So now it's about how do we respond to that? Well, what are we going to be as a group? Um, are we going to come together and start playing how we were towards the shutdown, um, or does it go the other direction? So that's the challenge to the group right now. But in watching that tape last night again when we got home, I mean, it's the defense of intensity um, is just not okay. We're not going to win games without a much higher level of defense of compete defensive intensity.
I know, I mean, maybe panic button isn't the right word, but I mean, are you already, we talked about a little bit yesterday, are you considering making some adjustments, whether it's rotation or whether it's starting the lineup or whatever it might be?
Yeah, we're looking at some things, but it's definitely not a panic button, James. This whole 8 game tournament for me is let's continue to build, continue to grow, and we want to win, but we're not gonna panic and try to blow everything up. Like, we understand the circumstances of what we're at, where we're at, living in a bubble, everything else. This is a great opportunity for us to inspire, bring people together now, with the sport of basketball, and then personally for our team to grow. So we're going to keep, that as the priority. But yet, we're looking at some different rotation lineup changes, or grouping changes, as we prepare for Dallas.
Richard Ivanowski.
Hi, Luke. Richard from the B. You mentioned intensity on defense. How do you inject more intensity into this team? Is that the players' responsibility to get up that intensity themselves, or is that how can you add to that as a coach? How do you get that from them?
Well, we as a group we have to be, to start games. We have to be more physical, more vocal, more willing to sacrifice our bodies. Little things like that kind of spark a group, and we haven't done that yet here in the bubble. We've had moments of it. We've had stretches of it. I think when Corey Joseph and Corey Brewer were in the game, we saw a little bit of it, but it's got to be from the start.
Hey, Jason Jones.
Hey, Luke.
Jason.
Hey, I know you've mentioned this before play even started, that in this situation, there are no bad teams. Everyone in the bubble is either in the playoffs or trying to make it. Do you see this right now, this situation as a good learning tool for the guys individually to see if this is where we want to be in the future, or even now, this is the level we have to start out at when we start games and going forward?
Yeah, I really do. I think it's going to be great for our guys in the long run, and I'm still very confident we're going to start playing a lot better. But by the end of this whole thing, it's going to be a great learning experience for us as a group, and for certain young players that haven't played in this type of intense situations yet.
And with the way the season's gone, the bubble and losing Igor over the weekend, that you normally wouldn't have a coaching change like that, during the season. Just how are you and the staff adjusting to losing him over the weekend so he can start his new job?
Yeah, I mean, we're fine. I mean, obviously Igor is a big part, and he really he did a good job here. But He left earlier. He left for a few games in the season too to do some qualifying stuff with the Serbian national team. So we've done this before, and we miss him, but we're fine as a staff.
Jason Anderson.
Hey, Luke, good to see you today. You said last night that a priority moving forward will be trying to figure out how to get Buddy going for you. So the question is, what are some ideas? How do you do that? And if you could speak kind of big picture with your development and your philosophy, what you've been trying to do with him over the course of the season.
Yeah, I think but Buddy's gonna be fine. Watching the game, he's gonna be fine. And you got to remember how big of a role he was playing for us. Especially when we made the switch in the rotation with him and Bogey. Buddy was giving us 20 points a night, shooting 40% from three, and so that's a big part of us having success. And these type of games, we were just talking with Jason about. The intensity picks up. These teams are trying to make the playoffs, prepping for the playoffs. So everything gets a little harder. And so it's our job to continue to get them open. And, once he does, he's got to knock those down. But I think that, I'm very confident he's gonna find that stroke again very soon.
How about, looking more at the big picture, though? I know one of the criticisms is that, people will say he's being misused. He's being asked to do things that aren't to his strengths, and that maybe sometimes minimizes things that are his strengths. And I think you've talked about trying to develop areas of his game so that, it's better for the team moving forward. Can you address that for us, if you don't mind?
Address what?
Just what you're trying to do with him philosophically over the course of a season, not necessarily just a game or two.
Yeah, we want we want Buddy to continue to grow as a player. We know he's a dead-eye shooter. We tell him that anytime he's got an open look, that's a good look. So we run a lot of actions for him to get him open. But I don't really know what else you're asking about. Are you talking about just his shooting?
Okay, sorry, I was on mute. No, I guess I'm referring to things like, increased ball handling duties, defensive assignments, things that go beyond just, being a spot-up shooter. Obviously, he's very good at that.
Yeah, so I get you. He's a big part of our team, and we need our guys to do more than just one thing. So we know what Buddy's best skill is being a dead-eye shooter, but we also need him to defend. We need him to be able to pass when he gets double teamed, make for others, which he's shown some nice moments of throughout the season. And we need him to be able to attack the basket when people, run him off the shot.
All right, just a couple more. Sean Cunningham.
Hey, Luke. With the number of things that were not going well for you guys, I feel like there might have been a moment there in reviewing things where you saw some encouraging signs. Can you just maybe address what some of those, or maybe the most encouraging signs you noticed with your team?
Well, to me, the most encouraging thing is that we're here. This is an unbelievable opportunity, and we're getting a month of work in together, and to me, we're trying to build something. You've got to go through stuff like this, and as opposed to not being in the bubble and not being able to practice together and compete together, I'll take this every time.
Cool, thank you.
Last one, Marshall Harris.
Hey, Luke, you've been through rough patches before, whether it's the very start of the season, mid-season losing streaks. Can you draw any parallels to what got you out of that to where you are now, and how to get back on the right track with such limited time left in the bubble?
Yeah, I give credit to the players. They've responded. They've responded every time we've hit tough patches. We lost 2 games in a row. I know the way we lost that last game and the way Orlando shot the ball looked terrible, but it's, we had a chance to win the first one, and we had a bad game. So I don't think it's like, holy Lord, we have to win this next game or everything's going to to heck, but it's, there's Dallas has lost 2 games. New Orleans has lost 2 games. There's this is part of what it is out here. So it's not the way we lost. I'm very frustrated with, but it's just something that we gotta keep working towards as a group, and we'll be just fine.
Do you feel at this point you have to make a run, or can it be a game-by-game situation? The way I know as coaches and players, you like to look at it game by game, but to make the playoffs, do you feel like the team is aware that we're going to have to make a serious run at this point?
No, it has to be game by game. That's the only way to go on a run. If you start trying to think of it as more than one game at a time, then you're doing yourself a disservice. So in order to make a run, we got to be completely focused on the present, locked into what we can do right now. And when we get into that mindset, that gives us the best chance to actually go on a run.